I'm going to place my left hand on her right foot. I take the fingertips of my right hand, circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips, and then I'm raising her foot for the purpose of demonstration here. I measure straight down from the ankle bone. Like I say, we're using simple terms tonight. Put my pointer finger right there, line up all the fingers, drop the palm of my hand on top of her foot, and I'm going to bend my fingers so that all 4 fingernails are touching. The first knuckles of my fingers are bent, nails are touching, then I'm pulling all the way back. All the way over, pull all the way back. All the way over, and then pull all the way back. All the way over, all the way back, and all the way over. And we just work 1 finger at a time off of this toe. Still going all the way over and all the way back with the other fingers. And then when I come to the end of the toe, I turn and vitaflex the toe with my pointer finger. If I were to draw a line where I want my nails to end up, it would start right here and go this way on the foot. Again, right here. Okay, so measuring straight down from the ankle bone, all the fingers line up here, the palm of my hand drops on top of the foot, and go all the way over, pull all the way back. As you practice more on this, it becomes more of a fluid motion, a smooth motion as you go down the foot. This is about medium pressure. And in between each time down the foot, we pick up some more oil. So it's clockwise 3 times, and all the way over and all the way back. Then I go to the left foot, right hand, on the left foot. 2 to 3 drops of oil in the palm of the right hand. Thank you. Circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my left hand. Same measurement, straight down from the ankle bone, that's part that's closest to the table. And it's all the way over and all the way back. A good place to practice this motion is on your arms. The movement that I'm using is with wrist movement, as if I was opening a door and just moving that wrist. Let me move out of the way here. So if everyone will just hold out their arm and place your other hand on top of your arm and give your fingers just a little bit of a bend, and then this is the movement that we're going to use, all the way over. So all the fingernails are flat against my arm now. This is what it looks like on the foot, and then pull it back. All the way over, pull all the way back. All the way over, pull all the way back. So you can see why it's so important to have our nails short. And you just move down your arm. Then you can trade hands, and let's practice on the other arm now. Now all 4 fingers are touching when you go over. Sometimes I notice when people first learn this, they like to leave that pointer finger out for some reason. But all 4 are connecting here, okay? This is like if I were to turn on a light switch and just turn it on halfway, we don't get light. And so this helps the firing that we want to have happen here. Okay, the next oil we're going to use on the feet is the thyme. I'm going to place 2 to 3 drops of thyme in the left hand that's placed on the right foot. Circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my right hand. So now again I'm working right hand to right foot, measuring right there, all 4 fingers lining up, and then dropping the palm of my hand. And then it's all the way over, pull all the way back as we work down the foot. The Vitaflex with the oils helps remove any blocks we might have in our nervous system, energy fields caused by toxins, lack of oxygen, or tissue damage. Then swinging over to the left foot with my right hand, 2 to 3 drops of the time. Same motion, circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my left hand now. So I'm working left hand to left foot. As I'm doing this, I use a bend in my legs rather than a bend in my back. Particularly if you do this very long. If you don't, if you bend your back and lean over, you're going to need a lot of raindrops yourself. And so it's a bend in the legs. Again, clockwise 3 times between each time down the foot. Okay, back to the right foot. Left hand on right foot. 2 to 3 drops of basil in the palm of my left hand. Clockwise 3 times again. Exactly the same thing. Right hand on left foot, 2 to 3 drops of basil on the palm of that right hand. Circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my left hand. And the Vitaflex. Cypress. 2 to 3 drops of cypress. Palm of my left hand. Again, clockwise 3 times. Fingertips of my right hand. Cypress in the right hand as it rests on the left foot, 2 to 3 drops. Circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my left hand. So left hand to left foot. After this cypress is a wintergreen. And with each oil, with a Vitaflex, it's 2 to 3 drops. Going with the wintergreen now on the left foot. marjoram in the palm of my left hand. I don't know if there's any oil in the marjoram. Follow. There's a couple, 2 drops of oil in the marjoram. We'll try this one. Thank you. And there is. Fantastic. Circle clockwise 3 times with the fingertips of my right hand. Again, the point that I'm wanting my fingernails to end up at is right here. So it's not on the edge of the foot, not too far into the middle, but about 1/4 of an inch in, right along that place right there. And then peppermint. Circle clockwise 3 times, as with all the other oils. Working down the feet, 1 finger at a time. Then turning at the end with pointer finger and vitaflexing that big toe. And then circle clockwise 3 times between each time down the foot.
Does it hurt your hands? Do the oils?
There's a question of what the oils do to my hands.
Yes.
That's a great question, Dove. I'm used to the oils on my hands. However, sometimes if people aren't used to oils on their hands, they will maybe start to burn the hands a little bit as a facilitator. It's a great benefit of being a facilitator because I get the benefit of the oils also as they're absorbing into my hands. However, sometimes it will give the people a little bit of irritation or a little bit of burn in their hands. If that happens, then you can just use some V6 on your hands. And when Gary Young first started teaching the Raindrop in other classes, when he had more time rather than introduction, he used to measure the person first before the Raindrop, and then he would measure them after the Raindrop, and almost all the time their height had changed a little bit, which is pretty amazing. So some people, even if they didn't maybe feel so much when they got the Raindrop, the height would change. Yeah. Okay, next we're going to have the receiver turn over, please. gown's going to work. Sometimes on women, you can take 2 towels and place one under each arm to keep them modest, but I think her gown's going to be fine tonight. Thank you. I like to tuck the towel or the sheet that you're using into their pants. This helps protect the clothes, but it also moves them down far enough because we want this first drop to land about right here on the sacrum. Okay, so if their pants are up here, you're not going to get the oils where we want them. Of course, we don't want it too low, that can be uncomfortable. Also, talking about uncomfortable, you know, almost all the time when I'm doing Raindrop, my nose will end up itchy, or my eye, and so you have to be careful, you know, not to go ahead and scratch that nose or eye with my hands because that can be very uncomfortable also. As we turn the person over, I like to look and make an assessment and see what their spine looks like. Maybe go over their back to feel the sources where there might be a little bit more heat than other places. And she's got a lot right in this area, actually. And it's pretty cool up here. Okay, we're going to start off with oregano on the back. Great, thank you. So with the raindrop, we're going to let the oil drop, okay? So I'm holding the oil approximately 6 inches above the spine. And with oregano, it's 2 to 3 drops that we're going to use on the lower part of the back, depending on the size of the person. So dropping that right on the spine, we're going to do the feathering technique next. And this is done by placing all 4 fingers at the base of the spine here, the backs of my fingers, and just pulling up about 6 inches. You don't measure in inches here, but whatever that equates to, okay? And then the other hand follows right behind, and then the first hand pulls up. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to divide the back into approximately 12-inch sections. With hers, that looks like maybe 2 sections here, okay? So the same thing, just one hand, the other hand, then the first hand. And then 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do this same feathering the full length of the spine, from the sacrum to the occipital bone here. This is very, very light touch. The person on the table may even get goosebumps, is how light it is. After the feathering, we're going to go to fanning. And this is with the backs of the fingers again. And we're going to go up and off the back. And we do this 3 times. In the first section, move up 3 times. And then move up 3 times. And then moving up again 3 times in the next section. And then to finish this, we're going to start at the bottom and at the back and go up and off of the shoulders. Okay, thyme is the next oil we use. I'm going to apply it in the same manner that I did the oregano. So holding the bottle about 6 inches above the spine, 2 to 3 drops on the lower spine, and 1, 2, 3, 6-inch sections as we move up the spine. 12-inch sections, the full length of the spine. Fanning, 3 times in each section, moving up. The full length of the spine and up and off of the shoulders. Okay, after the oregano and thyme, it's good to check in with the person on the table here. Are you burning at all? Yes. And so may I have some V6 oil, please? I like to put the V6 in the palm of my hand That's perfect. That way I don't want to pour it right on her back because it might be cool. And so we're just going to spread this V6 wherever she might be burning. Is that better? Okay. The next oil after the thyme that we're going to use on the back is the basil. Perfect. With the basil, we're going to use 3 to 4 drops on either side of the spine. Really close to the spine, but not on the spine. 3 to 4 drops. And the same feathering technique. And then 12-inch sections after the 6. And then the full length of the spine. Fanning.